score just got live as the scrimmage started. It's New Heights Christian versus CJFC. I'm sorry, Carl Junction Bulldogs. New Heights plays it out of the back. Teeter for the Bulldogs on the ball on the right side, cuts it across the box, deflected away by Bennett Thomas, and early corner kick for the Bulldogs. We're going to do two 30-minute halves of varsity and then a half of JV when the varsity is finished. Gavin Calgary takes the corner, sends it in, deflected away by Perigin. Michael Perigin on the ball. Back to Hunter Falcon for the Bulldogs. Drop back to Landout, all the way back to the keeper, Miller. Miller plays it out across midfield to Teeter. Teeter, heavy on the touch, goes to Brandon Schumacher. Over to Brake. Brake flicks it to Perigin, through to Schumacher. Ben Schumacher on the ball. Holds up play, drops it back to Perigin. Perigin looking back into Schumacher and deflected away by the Bulldogs. Outlet to Teeter on the right side. Nelson comes up and steals, plays it wide. In the middle of the field, Clevenger is able to possess. Looks ahead, plays it through to Schumacher. Schumacher's all alone up ahead. Gets into the box, takes the strike. Off the post, Schumacher comes on the follow and over the top. And will result in a goal kick for the Bulldogs. Good opportunity for the Cougars early on. Ball played to the right side, breaks over there to get a touch. He carries down the corner, sends it across the box, and that's Falcon for the Bulldogs, clears it away. And corner kick for the Cougars. Ben Schumacher taking the corner, spinning in. Perigin's there, gets the header on it. Miller is able to get it off the hop and make the save. Miller driving ball down the near side. Perkins connects to Calgary out on the run. Thomas chasing from behind. Calgary one-on-one. Stewart steps up, and Calgary finishes to take the 1-0 lead. Catch the replay on that. The back heel flick by Perkins opens up Calgary, and just no support back. Lost our midfield. Our defensive backs. Hammond on the ball for the Bulldogs on the near side. Across the middle of the field to Helton. Josh Helton on the ball, being challenged by Clevenger, gets through all the way up to Perkins. Thomas steps in. Perigin's able to deflect it back to the back line into the middle of the field. Breaks over to receive it. One touch to Clevenger, back to the back line, and Nelson. Nelson into the middle for Clevenger to turn. Clevenger chips it over the top for Perigin on the run. Perigin's out in front. Landahl chasing on the side. Perigin cuts it back. Makes a move to get to the top of the box. Takes the strike, and Miller's right in position for the save. Miller punts it away from the top. They let it bounce. Dole's there, makes a touch into the middle. Clevenger comes over to connect. Drop back to, that's Hipple on the back line. Ball's possessed by Perigin. He chips it through to Hamlin running down the right side. Landault for the Bulldogs able to get position, cuts it back to Miller. Miller outlets to Hammond on the near side. Up ahead to Kauk. Kauk lets it run. Thomas is there to read it. Kauk steals it back. Perkins up ahead. Clevenger chasing to get around position. Cowger comes onto the ball, chips it into Perkins. Nelson chips it away over the top. Hamlin on the right side being pressured by Landault. Landault's able to get a touch and clear it away. Over to Hammond down the line. Connect to the younger Cowger. Thomas comes in and clears it away. Hammond back to the ball into the middle to Helton. Brandon Schumacher comes up to challenge. Played through. Nelson gets a touch, but not enough. Kauk's out loose. Teeter's out loose. Teeter takes a shot, but goes wide of the goal. And will be a goal kick for the Cougars. Just 6 minutes in, really a wide open game so far. Bulldogs have their first subs checking in. Elliott Parker subbing off. And so is Perkins. Perigin plays it in. Handball called, free kick for the Cougars. Clevenger there to take it. Plays a side spinning ball up ahead. Sent back in the middle for Helton. Clevenger possesses, carries it to the near side, chips it down the line, and goes out of bounds. Throw in for the Bulldogs. Hammond's there for the throw. Whistle for a sub as Dominic Jamie is going to sub in for Helton. Hammond taking the throw for the Bulldogs. Perigin deflects it away and out of bounds. Will stay Bulldogs ball on the near side. Cowger there for the throw. Thomas challenges in the air, gets the header back out of bounds. Cowger down the line. Hipple tries to keep it in. And handball called, free kick for the Bulldogs on the sideline. Gavin Cowger's there to take the kick. Right off of Perigin's back, and Perigin tries to save it to make it a throw instead of a corner. And looks like he wasn't able to do it. Corner kick for the Bulldogs. Cowger sends the side spinning ball in. Teeter got a head on it, but couldn't get it on target. And goal kick is the result. Break subs out as Boney subs in the game for the Cougars. Cougars playing it out of the back. That's Dole to Nelson on the far side. Nelson looks up ahead, deflected by Jamie, up to Travis, and Perigin's able to get it on the ground to Boney. Boney up ahead to Schumacher on the run. Falcon Shields lets it go out of bounds, and it will be a goal kick for the Bulldogs. Miller takes the goal kick up ahead to Teeter. Nelson steals. Jamie steps in and is able to keep it on the line. Perigin tracks back. Cowger chips it ahead. Perkins is the first to go. Dole defends, gets the deflection away, is able to keep it in on the end line. Up ahead to Nelson. Nelson tries to turn and can't keep it in play, throwing for the Bulldogs. More subs coming in. Helton's checking back in the game as the younger Cowger checks out. Perkins on the sideline throw in into the box. Rush Stewart comes up at keeper to secure it. Throws it out to the near side. Hamlin's there. Hamlin can't keep it in play, and he'll be throwing for the Bulldogs. Quick throw in down the line to Kauk. Kauk chips it ahead. Perkins trying to connect there. Stewart gets there first and secures the ball. Top spinning ball out to the far side to Boney. Boney with his chest can't keep it in. And another throw in for the Bulldogs. Thrown to Nelson. Nelson to Perigin. Perigin has some room, looks to chip it up ahead. Sends Boney down the line and out of bounds again. Bulldog throw. Falcon drops it back to Landell on the back line. Back to Miller in the goal. Miller up to the near side to Kauk. Kauk's able to keep it in on the sideline. Clevenger comes on the challenge. Kauk turns, plays it through to Perkins. Perkins with a good run. Dole comes over to defend on the corner. Perkins sets up the shot, deflection, and goal. Take a look back at that move by Perkins. Gets into the box, takes that shot right off of Thomas's backside, and finds the back of the net. 2-0 now the score. Ball played back to Schumacher. Dole over to Nelson. Nelson into the middle of the field. Landelt possesses for the Bulldogs, plays it all the way back to the keeper, Miller. Miller to the far side. Teeter's able to connect. Plays it through to Perkins, but Perkins is off. And it'll be a free kick for the Cougars. Dole takes the backspin ball up ahead. Schumacher with the first touch drops to Hamlin. Foul called on the play, and the Cougars will get a free kick. Perigin from 35. Perigin sends it over the goal, and goal kick for the Bulldogs. Elliot Parker subbing back in the game for the Bulldogs as Sam Hammond takes a break. Bulldogs decide to play it out of the back. Landelt on the near side. Carries wide to the line. Hamlin comes up for pressure, deflects it away. Throwing for the Bulldogs. Parker's there to take the throw. Into the middle, Perigin gets the header up ahead to Helton. Clevenger's able to steal. Clevenger across the field, drops back to Hipple. Hipple one touch to Thomas. Thomas to Clevenger with room to turn. Helton, good job defending, gets back to him. Clevenger carrying down the line. Still on the ball. And Helton's able to clip it away, throw in for the Cougars. Break back at the line to sub. He's going to sub back in for Boney on the left wing. Clevenger, big throw into the box. Schumacher's there, gets a touch on it, deflects to Peregrine. And corner kick is the result. Schumacher there to take the corner on the near side. Driving ball in. Deflected away, and the Bulldogs are out running. Cowger on the ball, gets past the first defender. Keeps it on the line, sends it through to Kaut connecting. Stewart does a good job reading it and comes up and gets it before Kaut can connect. Stewart punts it away out of bounds, throwing for the Bulldogs. Parker throws it into Kaut, looking to turn. Kaut gets the turn. Bill comes over to help, cut across the box. Perkins is there, settles. Stewart gets nailed right in the head, and he's down. That's the tough part about being the keeper, selling out your body for a save. He just took that right off the forehead, it looked like. See if we can look back at that on replay. Yeah, May got him in the nose, actually. Cougars still working on their back line assignments, moving some guys around back there. They've been a little bit disconnected on assignments so far. Boney's subbing in at keeper for Stewart. Rushes up on the sideline looking okay, but looks like he may have got a bloody nose. Let's see if we can take a look here. Corner kick for the Bulldogs is the result on the play. Not sure if they stopped the clock. We've let the clock keep running, so we may have some additional time to play in the first half. David Williams is subbed in the game. I think that's his first appearance of the day. Looks like he's subbed in for Brandon Schumacher on the holding mid position, the number 6. All right, back to play. Cowger takes the corner kick. Headed away by Thomas at the top. Over to Helton. He takes the shot, and Boney's there for the save. Boney drops it to Dole at the top of the box. Dole punts it away into the midfield. Parker's able to secure it, drops it back to Landau. Ben Schumacher chases on the ball. Miller pops it up into the air to midfield. Thomas pushes Cowger in the back and gets called for it, and free kick for the Bulldogs. Landau on the restart gets it over to Helton. Helton makes a move and draws the foul. About 35 out. Gavin Cowger will take the free kick, it looks like. Clevenger and Perigin on the wall for the Cougars. Perkins and the younger brother Cowger's there, gets the header. Boney makes the save. Walker comes up to challenge the ball. Dole's able to get it over to Thomas. Thomas deflects it off of the Bulldogs, throw in for the Cougars on the far side. Williams over there to take the throw. Bulldogs clear it back into the corner, still in. Williams on the ground, plays it to Dole. Dole sends it into the middle of the field, no one to connect. Thomas comes onto the ball. And Bennett Thomas is able to draw the foul. Free kick for the Cougars. Perigin sets up to take the kick. Big ball over the top. It's loose at the top for Schumacher. Schumacher looking to set up a shot, gets deflected away. Hamlin chases into the corner. Keeps it in, deflected away by Parker, and corner kick for the Cougars. Schumacher just couldn't find the ball in time to get a good strike on it and cleared away. Schumacher takes the corner kick. Clevenger tries for the bicycle. Perigin gets over to the ball. Perkins, good job defending, knocks it out of play. Throw in for the Cougars on the far side. Perigin up ahead into the box. Landau heads it away. Helton comes in to play it, gets it to Walker on the far side. Dole comes in to challenge, knocked away, and off of the Bulldogs last, throw in for the Cougars. Dole gives it to Perigin. Perigin gets through the first attack, and Travis comes in. I've forgotten Travis's last name. Comes in and clears it away. Another throw in for the Cougars. Thomas tries to touch it ahead. Cowger steals, but the Cougars are back to clear it out of bounds, and it'll be a sub time for the Bulldogs as they have the throw in. Perkins and Kauk subbing out of the game as Hammond and Teeter are back in. Throw into Helton. Perigin's able to clear it. Landau to the ball, looking to play it back to Miller in the goal. Schumacher challenges. Play to the far side. Walker will give chase, but out of bounds. Throw in for the Cougars. David Williams over there on the far side to take the throw. Up ahead to Brake. Brake gets it back to the middle for Thomas. Thomas tries to get past Cougars there to clear it away, and knocked out a play by Helton. Throwing for the Cougars. Perigin down the line, tries to get it to Schumacher. Schumacher and Falcon fighting for position. Schumacher's able to get to the edge, stays in play, and stolen away by the Bulldogs. Perigin fights through, gets it to Clevenger. Clevenger at the top, looking for an angle. Hammond gets a touch. Clevenger still on the ball, drops it back to Hipple on the backside. Hipple tries to play it back to the middle, stolen away by Cowger. Cowger looking at an option, finds Teeter on the near side. Nelson comes over to defend. Teeter back to Gavin Cowger. Dole defending. Gavin Dole. Over to Helton, open at the top. Helton sets up the shot. Boney deflects it with his knee, and Hipple tries to deflect it out of the box. Still in trouble. Perigin comes all the way across, chases the end line, and Perigin clears it out for a corner for the Bulldogs. Gavin Cowger over there in the corner on the near side for the kick. Sends the ball to the backside. It's loose in the middle. Clevenger is able to clear it out. Comes out to Jamie. Over to Teeter. Teeter takes the strike. David Williams comes in and deflects up to Schumacher. Schumacher trying to find the ball. Gets it into the middle into some space. Then Schumacher drops it for Hamlin. Hamlin on the near side back to Clevenger. Clevenger back to Hipple on the back line. Stolen away by Hamlin on the near side. Clevenger gets to it. Stolen back by the Bulldogs. Walker leaves it for Dole. Dole steals it away, and Dole pushes through Walker, but actually Walker gets called for the foul. And the Cougars take the free kick. Clevenger sends it up ahead to Schumacher on the run. Schumacher tries to chip it through. Falcon's there to defend. Over to Helton. Helton up to Hammond on the near side. Into the middle for Cowger. Cowger looks. Clevenger comes to challenge. Knocks the ball away as Cowger's still on it. Gets to the edge. And gets tripped. Free kick for the Bulldogs. Landau takes the kick into the middle. Travis was there for the finish, but couldn't put it on frame. That'll be a goal kick for the Cougars. Good ball by Landau over the top. Miscommunication by the back line on the Cougars. Cougars playing it out of the back. Dole up to Thomas in the middle. Thomas deflects it away. Hammond back to the ball for the Bulldogs down the near side. Thomas defending in front. Hammond's able to make the turn, sends it through. Boney steps up and is able to secure the ball. Pony punts it into the middle of the field. Jamie with the first touch. Perigin gets to it. Played back to Miller on the back. All the way up to Teeter. Teeter's able to get the first touch and turn, but Williams is there to steal. Walker there contesting for the Bulldogs and knocked off of Williams throwing for the Bulldogs. Corner kick for the Bulldogs on that play. Kauk's going to come over and take the corner. High ball all the way across the back. Teeter chases to the corner. Hamlin defending is able to get to the ball. Teeter fighting for position. Back to Parker. Parker sends it back to Hammond. And lost out of bounds throw in for the Cougars. Ball in play. Thomas across to Dole to Nelson at the top of the box. Nelson on the ground. Schumacher tries to get over to connect. Weird spinning ball on the far side. Walker and Williams challenge. Back to Jamie. Jamie sends it in to Teeter, and Nelson clears it away. Throw in for the Bulldogs. All right, that's our halftime whistle. Probably take about a 10-minute break here and come back for the second half. All right, we're back, ready to start the second half. We have Bulldogs with the kickoff, leading 2-0. Cougars had a couple chances early. Bulldogs converted on a couple nice plays from the left side. Nelson and Hipple are as the center backs for the Cougars to start the second half. David Williams as the right back. And Connor Perry is the left back. Peregrine and Clevenger attacking mids. Brandon Schumacher as the holding mid. Break, Ben Schumacher and Kason Hamlin across the top for the Cougars. Ruben Break, that is. Ball out of bounds to the Cougars. Nelson will take the throw. Nelson's throw never came in bounds, so he gets to rethrow. Clevenger chips it over the top. Cowger gets to it. Plays it across to Hamlin behind the defender. Hamlin on the ball, looking to cut in. Hamlin comes in to defend. Williams gets a touch on it. Perkins stays on the ball. Perkins makes a move in the box. Williams is there and is able to clear it away. Bulldogs played all the way back to Miller at the top of the box. Schumacher comes up to force Miller to kick, plays it to the near side. Perry the first to touch. Chipped over by Cowger to the top of the box. And Boney's there, knees it down. Brings it back into the box to pick it up. Boney punts it away all the way to midfield. Schumacher heads it forward. Landalt's there. Schumacher challenges. Landalt's able to touch it back to Miller. Miller quickly circles it away to the near side. Teeter tries to keep it in, but can't. Late kick after it had gone out of bounds down the line. It will be a throw in for the Cougars. Perry up to take the throw. Plays it into Clevenger. Clevenger chips it over his head to Break, but Cowger's there for it. Break and Teeter come on the challenge. Teeter plays it on the ground. Nelson steps in. Nelson challenged from behind. And foul called on that play. Be a free kick for the Bulldogs. I didn't actually see the foul there, but must have been in retaliation for the challenge. Ball up ahead. Hipple gets a touch up to Hamlin. Hamlin and Hammond challenging for the ball on the far side over to Perkins. Perkins and Williams. Williams is able to deflect it away. And looks like a corner is the call. Sub coming in, Travis Lewis in the game for the Bulldogs. Couldn't recall his last name in the first half for some reason. Gavin Cowger over to take the corner. Cowger chips it in. Perkins gets a touch and scores the goal. Bulldogs take a 3-0 lead. Take a look at the replay. Perkins just holds his position against Peregrine and is able to, from the ground, get a head on it. Bulldogs quickly in the attack off the kickoff. Kauk plays it through, but nobody to connect. And Boney's able to secure it. Punted to the middle. Helton's the first to touch. Goes to the far side, out of bounds, throwing for Cougars. Peregrine takes the throw all the way up ahead. And Landahl taps it out of bounds. Will be Cougars' ball. Peregrine in the middle. Helton again heads it away. Into Cowger. Leaves it for Teeter. Clevenger comes in and makes the tackle. And out of bounds on the near side, throwing for the Bulldogs. Brake comes in, gets the header. Goes out of play, throwing again for the Bulldogs on the near side. Throwing down the line, Nelson uses his shoulder, gets it to Peregrine. Peregrine sends it up ahead for Schumacher to chase. Lewis and Schumacher chasing for the ball. Lewis tries to head it back to Miller, and Miller is able to dive in and make the save. Miller up ahead to Teeter. Teeter gets called for the handball. Free kick for the Cougars. Clevenger sends a good ball into the middle. Peregrine connects, and off the post, Miller's able to get back to it to make the save. Bulldogs quickly into the attack. Perkins carries it across the middle. Driving ball across. Perry can't handle it. Teeter gets to it. Nelson comes in and makes the tackle. Plays it on the ground up to Brake. Cowger comes and makes the tackle and gets called for the foul. Free kick for the Cougars. Clevenger on the ground into Schumacher. Brandon Schumacher in the middle. He's able to stay on it. Sends it wide to Hamlin. Hamlin on the ground gets to Peregrine. Peregrine 1-2s it down the line to Hamlin. Landahl's there first. Gets it back to Miller. Cougars come on the press. Landahl on the far side. Over to Hamlin. Hamlin tries to chip it back to the middle and goes out of bounds, throwing for the Cougars. Peregrine quickly into Clevenger at the top. Clevenger finds some space, gets defended by Helton, and Lewis is able to clear it away. Up ahead to Cowger, can't control the pass. Perry chips it back in. Cowger over the top, gets control. Cowger on the run, sends it over the top for Kauk. Hippel's there, gets a knee on it, and is able to get rid of the pressure. Clevenger bicycle kicks it back to the middle of the field. Helton plays it on the ground to Hammond on the far side. Hammond with his left. Can't get it on target as it rolls through to Boney in the goal. Boney top spinning ball into the middle. Cowger's there, settles it with his chest, but can't control it. Peregrine with a good ball through to Hamlin. Hamlin on the run as Landahl tracks back. Hamlin gets into the box and deflected away by Landahl. Will be a corner kick for the Cougars. Take a look at that last play for the Cougars. Well defended by the Bulldogs. Ben Schumacher taking the corner on the far side. Plays it to Perigin. Perigin with the header across the frame. Hamlin steps in. Fight for the ball. Perkins is there to chip it away with his left into Gavin Cowger on the run. Perry defending. Cowger carries to the middle. Nelson's there, plays it through to Kauk. Nelson comes in, is able to knock it away. Teeter gets back to the ball. Teeter chips it across. Williams gets a touch but can't control it. Kauk comes to it with his left and finishes it for the 4-0 lead. Dole subbing back in for the Cougars. Taking the goal. Teeter just chips it over the top, and Williams probably unnecessarily tries to clear it back, goes right to Kauk for the finish. Restart a play. Ball goes to the far side. Bourne's there to shield. Goes out of bounds, throwing for the Bulldogs. Cruz Bourne in the game for the Bulldogs. Throw in stolen away by Perigin. Perigin with some intensity gets up to Schumacher. Perigin still on the run. And Perigin trying to get to it. Foul called. Free kick for the Bull. Let's see. Free kick for the Cougars right at the top of the box. This is definitely a makeable distance for Perigin. He's got 4 on the left side, Schumacher, Brake, Clevenger, and Hamlin. Perigin takes the shot on the wall, gets the deflection, shoots again, and the wall's able to clear it away. Dole and Kauk fight for possession, drops to Nelson. Nelson to the near side, past Brake, and will be a throw-in for the Bulldogs. Lewis throws it in down the line to Walker. Goes through the first line. Nelson's able to poke it up in the air. Lewis settles with his chest. Falls to Clevenger. Clevenger being double teamed, looking for space. Plays it across the field. Perigin's there. Perigin cuts it back. Makes a move to get into space. Leaves it for Hamlin on the far side. Hamlin takes the shot. And Miller's there to make the save. Punted back to the middle of the field. Dolan Kauk. Dole kicks it away to the far side. Throw in for the Bulldogs. Kauk in the corner. Takes it with his left, deflected away by Hippel. Corner kick for the Bulldogs. Bennett Thomas back in the game as Ruben Brake will get a sub, a breather. Gavin Calgary with the ball in. Perigin heads it into the air. Helton fights for position. Ball cleared away. Jamie in possession for the Bulldogs. Chips it back up to Walker. Perigin steals. Jamie's able to steal it back. Thomas comes over, fighting for position. Walker still on the ball, takes the shot, and Boney's there to make the save. Boney punts it up to the middle of the field. Perigin fighting for the ball. Drops to Hamlin. Hamlin cuts it back. Hamlin still in play, looking to get the line. Back to Perigin. Perigin one-on-one with Helton. Helton steps in and commits the foul. Will be a free kick for the Bulldogs. I'm sorry, for the Cougars. From about 40 yards out on the far side. Perigin taking the kick. Driving ball in. Landahl heads it into puts it into the air. Schumacher goes up for the header, but Miller reaches up to make the save. Ball back to the middle. Schumacher fighting for position with Perkins. Schumacher gets called for the foul. Quick restart by Landahl. Over to Perkins on the far side. Perkins is able to keep it in. Hipple makes a touch, and Nelson comes over and clears the way. That goes out of bounds and is blown up by the truck passing by. All right, we got a new ball coming into the game. Throw in by Perkins. Nelson heads it away to Schumacher at the top. Brandon Schumacher up to Ben Schumacher. Ben lets it run, tries to get it over the top for Falcon. Falcon, good job using positioning, and drops it all the way back to Miller. Miller to the near side. Walker with a good touch to keep it in. Williams defending. Walker sends it down the line to Cowger. Nelson comes over to defend and knocks it out of play. Throw in for the Bulldogs. Teeter subbing back in the game for the Bulldogs as Perkins will take a break. Lewis comes down to take the throw on the near side. Clevenger the first to touch in the box. Walker and Williams challenge for it. Walker still on the ball. Clevenger back in defense is able to knock it off of Walker for the goal kick for the Cougars. Clevenger takes the goal kick up to Bennett Thomas. Thomas can't handle it on the near side. And it'll be a throw in for the Bulldogs. Lewis takes the throw. Brandon Schumacher there. Plays it up to his brother Ben. Ben looking to turn. Falcon defending. Ben on the ball, looking at his options. Plays it to Brandon in the middle. Jamie steps in to defend and knocks him off the ball. Brandon Schumacher and Dominic Jamie there, next door neighbors here in Carl. Clevenger takes the free kick, plays a low ball in. Jamie first to touch. Schumacher comes in. Clevenger comes to the ball. Has some space, takes the shot from 40 and rolls wide of the goal. Miller takes the goal kick to restart play, gets to the far side to Teeter. Teeter up ahead to Kauk on the run. Nelson's there first. Plays it on the ground to Hipple. Teeter steps in to steal. Kauk tracks back to get to the ball. Finds Cowger on the 1-2 to Teeter into the box, but Teeter's offside. And it'll be a free kick for the Cougars. Doe plays it short to Nelson. Nelson chips it into the middle. Hammond's there to steal. Cowger chips it over. Williams karate kicks it back into the middle, but Hammond steals. Hammond at the top of the box with his left, takes the shot, and Boney's there for the save. Boney top spinning ball, goes over the first line. Perigin fighting for it. Lewis gets a touch. Landelt comes in with his left and clears it away. Hipple settles it to the ground. Out comes a challenge, deflected away. Hammond steals. Hammond with his left plays it through to Teeter. Hipple comes over, gets a touch. Kauk tracks back to get to the ball. Kauk on the far side drops it to the corner for Teeter. Teeter across the box, takes the shot. Williams deflects with some part of his body and falls to Boney. Boney on the ground to Clevenger. Cowger hustles back and makes the steal. All the way across to Teeter. Teeter heads it into Settle. Makes a move at the top, still in possession. Drops to Cowger. Cowger strikes it and scores the goal. Bulldogs now with a 5-0 lead. Take a look back. Restart a play here for the Cougars. Schumacher drops it to Perigin. Perigin back to the back line for Williams. Williams tries to play it down the line to Thomas, but out of play. Throwing quickly by the younger Cowger over to Hammond. Williams kicks it into the air. Boney's there and is able to secure it before Teeter can get ahead on it. Boney rolls it out to Dole on the far side. Perigin back heels it. Jamie there to defend and knocks it out of play. Perigin, quick throw in up to Hamlin on the far side. Hamlin being defended by Parker. Hamlin draws the foul. Takes the quick restart to Perigin. Perigin turns across the box for Clevenger to run on. Clevenger settles it, takes the shot, and sends it over the goal. Restarted up to Teeter on the far side. Sent through, Nelson's there. Nelson pokes it forward. Clevenger flicks it ahead. Landalt's there for the Bulldogs to play it back to Miller. Miller, one touch to the far side for Teeter. Perry's able to win position, goes out of bounds. Throw in for the Cougars. Throws it into Brandon Schumacher. Up to Perigin. Perigin on the run. Landolt steps in to defend. Persian looking for space, sends it across and over the top. Out of play. Goal kick for the Bulldogs. Miller gets it over to Teeter on the far side. Teeter's able to get to space. Into the middle, Schumacher's there. Kauk tracks back and draws the foul as Hamlin was coming back to pressure. Free kick for the Bulldogs. Cowger takes the free kick, goes through the first line, and handball's called on Lewis. Free kick for the Cougars. Clevenger up ahead to Thomas. And Thomas gets called for the handball. Big backspinning ball into the box. Boney lets it bounce and is able to secure it before anyone can get to it. Boney rolls it into the middle, stolen away by the Bulldogs. Williams is able to clear it away. Wanted to record this game today to give the boys a chance to watch some things back, and there's definitely some areas that they need to improve on. Throw into Schumacher, he drops it for Thomas. Thomas across the middle, gets through the first challenge. Looking at his option, drops it to his cousin Clevenger. Hudson wide to Ben Schumacher. Ben looking to make a move, tries to play it through to Thomas. Gets through to Thomas into the box. Back to Schumacher. Perigin steps in and draws the foul. It'll be a free kick for the Cougars at a dangerous spot, about 25 out. Well, maybe 22 out. Perigin sets up for the free kick. Spinning ball in off the crossbar. Rolls out to Parker. Perigin gets back and sends it down the line. Throw in for the Bulldogs. Take a look at the replay on this free kick. Spun it around the wall. Just couldn't get it to come down quite enough. Thrown for the Bulldogs on the far side. Off of Hamlin. Will stay Bulldogs ball. Parker takes the throw. Perry and Teeter fighting for position. Perry, good job rising up. Heads it out of bounds. Still Bulldogs ball. Into the middle for Kauk. Kauk to Cowger. Hamlin steps in to challenge. Good work by Hamlin. Gets to connect to Ben Schumacher at the top. Schumacher carries. Looks at his options, drops to his brother Brandon. Stolen away by the Bulldogs. Perkins over the top. Williams there. Hammond's able to get back to it. Cowger on the ball. Cowger cuts it across to Cow. Cow takes the shot and saved by Boney. And that's the final whistle. We are going to play a JV half here. So give us a few minutes to warm up, I suppose, and then we'll be ready for the JV game. We'll send you through the game recap as we wait for the JV game to get started. And I'll be back for the start of that game. All right, we're back on the field, ready to start the JV game. Cougars take the opening kickoff, play it to the back. Hipple on the back line, plays it over the top. Schumacher in the middle, drops it back to Hamlin. Hamlin looking for space. Plays it over to Ben Schumacher. And Walker for the Bulldogs knocks it out. Throw in for the Cougars. Throw in down the line. Travis Lewis drops it back. Brandon Schumacher chases. Ben on the ball, drops it back to David Williams. Williams into the middle for Hipple. Hipple sends it into the air. Denton for the Bulldogs on the ball. Bourne through to Cowger. Cowger slips through. Hipple's able to get there, deflects it off of Perry. Brown on the ball, gets it to Walker. Walker across the middle, hits Cowger in the chest, and cleared away by the Cougars. Bourne heads it in. In possession by the Cougars. And ruled Cougars ball. Those two boys there are new, and I'm not sure their names actually for the Cougars. Brake sends the ball up in the air. Brown wins it for the Bulldogs. Brandon steals it away to Ben Schumacher. Schumacher plays it through to Smathers on the far side. Lewis gets there, is able to keep it in. Timmy for the Bulldogs keeps it in possession. Up to Brown. Brown makes the move, gets through. Brown into space. Plays it all the way through. Walker chases. Williams tracking back. And Hipple's there in cover. Loses out of bounds corner for the Bulldogs. Header sent in and scored. Take a look at the replay here. That was Trevor on the header goal for the Bulldogs. All right, I got a freeze on my camera here. Let me see if I can reset this. There we go. Back into play in the middle of the field. Schumacher heads it down to Hamlin. Timmy on the run for the Bulldogs. Williams is able to clear it away into the middle of the field. Break finds Schumacher. Ben Schumacher with space. Plays it through to his brother Brandon. Brandon on the run. Lewis wins position and plays it all the way back to the keeper. That's Helton in the goal. Good ball played down the line by the Bulldogs. Williams chases back. Cleared away by Hipple. Into the middle for Hamlin. Hamlin chips it over to Ben. Stolen away by the Bulldogs. Ben Chad in the middle plays it through to Denton. Denton, good ball to the top for Walker. Walker with his left. Boney makes a good save for the Cougars. Boren gets the first touch up to Denton, to Brown. Brown chips it back to Boren. Into the box. Perry comes over to challenge Cowger, knocked out of play. Corner kick for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs send the corner in. Brown gets a head on it, but goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Cougars. Ball back into play. Break on the ball, plays it up to the Cougars. I'm not sure which one that is. That's Brody. Brogan. That's Brogan, I bet. Hamlin drops it back to Hipple. Hipple back to Hamlin. Off the mark as Brown steals. Brown takes the shot, deflected away by Boney. Another corner kick for the Bulldogs. All right, let's see here. Stolen away by the Bulldogs off the goal kick. Denton sets up for the shot. Boney on the save. Ball still loose. Looks like Crumrine over there in the corner defending. Walker tries to put it on frame with his left, but can't get on top of it and goes out of bounds for the goal kick for the Cougars. Hippo plays the ball in the middle to Hamlin. Hamlin to Ben. Ben plays it through to Brandon. Brandon fights through. Lewis is able to win it and drop it back to the keeper, Helton. Helton clears it away to the sideline. Cowger on the hustle, tries to keep it in, but out of bounds. Throw in for the Cougars on the near side. Crumrine over for the throw. Header won by Denton. Walker chips it over to Brown, into the run for Walker. Out of bounds. Throw in for the Cougars on the far side. Ball comes loose to Ben. Ben plays it through to Brandon. Brandon controls it, looking at his option, plays it through to Brogan. Brogan back to his feet, tries to get it over to break. Boren for the Bulldogs out on the run. Boren plays it over to Cowger on the near side. Perry comes over to challenge. And Perry taps it out of bounds, throwing for the Bulldogs. Illegal throw-in called on the Bulldogs, throw-in for the Cougars. Ryan over there for the throw. Actually, I'm not sure if that is Ryan. I think it is. He's not wearing glasses. Brown takes the shot, deflected away by Hipple. Walker comes to it, takes the shot right on Boney's frame, and he makes a save. Boney punts it away to the near side for Brogan. Brogan running it down. Trevor back to the middle. Brogan back to the ball for the Cougars. Brake gets a touch. Can't find feet. Stolen away by the Bulldogs. Up ahead, Perry and Walker challenging for the ball. Perry's able to get it over to Hamlin. Brown steps in and steals. Brown with some room in front. Takes the shot and goes wide of the frame. Goal kick, Cougars. Some subs coming in the game for the Bulldogs. Cougars play it out of the back. Hipple to the far side for Smathers. Smathers settles, chips it back to Ben. Ben on the ground to Smathers on the run. Smathers running out to the left side. Clips it back. Parker, good read, steps in and steals. Parker now on a counterattack. Williams steps up to defend and deflects it out of bounds, throwing for the Bulldogs. Parker quick throw in to Denton. Schumacher there to defend. Back to Brown. Schumacher steals. Over to Brake. Brake tries to 1-2 to Ben. Ben Chad for the Bulldogs steals. Brogan on the ball on the near side. Chips it back to Brake. Stolen away by Hamlin. Ryan chips it up to Reether. Good ball up to Brandon Schumacher, but he gets called for offside. Let's see if we can. Yep, looks like he got a step ahead. 1-0 the score in the JV game. Bulldogs won the varsity matchup 5-0. Trevor, good ball on the ground to Cruz Boren. Back to Hammond on the near side. Ryan defending in the middle for Denton. Denton sets up an attack. Hamlin steps in and steals. Brake on the ball, looking at his options. Plays it down the near side. Reether tries to keep it in, but too high. Throw in for the Bulldogs. Lewis takes the throw to Denton. Up to Walker. Walker finds some space. Over to Brown. Brown, good ball back to Walker. Walker into the box. Sends it across, and Boney's there, able to secure it easily. Boney punts it away into the middle of the field. Reether gets knocked off the ball. Lewis on it. Hammond carries across the field. Ben steps in to steal. Ben chips it over the top. Helton comes up out of the box and clears it away. Denton and Williams fight for the ball on the far side. Deflected off of the Bulldogs, throwing for the Cougars. Perigin coming in the game for the Cougars on the back line for Hipple. Throw into Ben. Ben looking to turn. Cleared away by Cowger. Perigin sends it all the way across. Helton's way out of the goal. And it goes out of bounds. The goalie taking the throw in. Oh, Cowger's down, injured. Back on the far side of the field. He's limping off. Sub came in for in. We're back to play. Throw in headed by Smathers. Fight for possession. Reether's able to get back to it. Tries to play it back to Ben. Schumacher stolen away by Denton. Ball loose. Break gets to it. Brown on the ball. Break pokes it away. Over to Timmy. Up to Denton. Denton plays it through on the far side for Walker. Perigin's there first and lets it roll out of bounds. A goal kick for the Cougars. Perigin sets up for the goal kick. Schumacher first to touch. Plays it through to his brother Ben. Ben's on sides, out ahead of everyone. Gets to the top of the box, takes the shot, doesn't get much on it. And saved by Helton. Top spinning ball to the near side. Trevor Yearney's able to keep it in. Over to Lewis. Boren to Hammond. Hammond on the ball, tracks across. Finds Denton in the middle with space. Denton chips it over the top. Perry's there. Walker heads it in. Perigin clears it away. Lewis back to the ball, plays it in the middle. Perry chips it over the top. Lewis shields it out of bounds. Throw in for the Bulldogs. Ball played in the middle of the field. Denton's there. Schumacher defending. Break comes in and deflects it away. Hamlin to Schumacher off the mark. Brown steals. Schumacher comes back to steal it back. Plays it wide to Smathers. Smathers back to Ben. Timmy comes in and steals. Up to Walker. Williams is able to deflect it enough, and Perigin steals. Perigin on the run on the far side. Perigin up to Smathers. And Boren shields out of bounds for a goal kick for the Bulldogs. Helton takes the goal kick for the Bulldogs. Up ahead, Smathers first to touch, gets through to Timmy. Over the top for Walker to chase. Williams and Perigin there first. Perigin carries it wide. Makes a move, keeps it in possession. Perigin over the top to the far side. Trevor heads it into the air. Ball loose on the ground. Hammond's able to get over to it. Break defending. Hammond into the middle. Perigin steps. Perigin makes the steal. Looking at his options. Plays it over the top for Smathers to run to the far side. Parker gets a touch on it. Still going to the corner. And Parker wins the ball out of bounds. Throw in for the Cougars. Smathers throws it into Dole. Stolen away by the Bulldogs. Up to Denton on the far side. Perigin defending. Denton plays it down the line. Walker chasing. Perry's there first. Plays it with his left out of bounds. And throw in for the Bulldogs. Throw into Brown. Takes the shot. Deflected by Perry. Hammond's there to clean it up. Boney gets the save. And cleared away by the Cougars. Williams over there on the far side. makes a move on Denton. Deflected off of Williams, throwing for the Bulldogs. Denton into Brown. Brown at the top, finds Walker in the box. Walker back to Brown. Perigin chasing. Yearney with a good ball on the ground to Parker. Parker over to Timmy. Walker chips it for Timmy. Timmy can't get a good connection on it, and Perry's able to send it away to Hamlin. Hamlin, not sure where he was going with that. Chipped away, stolen by the Bulldogs. Perigin's there to steal it back. Perigin makes a move through the middle, defended by Chad. Up ahead to Smathers. Smathers being held on the near side. And Lewis steps in to clear it away. Throw in for the Cougars. Thrown by Smathers to Perigin, heavy on the touch, goes out of bounds on the inline. Goal kick for the Bulldogs. Cowger subbing back in the game for the Bulldogs as Brown takes a break. Helton plays it short to Parker on the far side. Smathers comes up to pressure. Ball into the middle to Cowger. Cowger on the ground. Williams is there. Gets a touch to Dole. Dole on the ground. Rolls through everyone. Miscommunication as Yearney's able to clear it away. Denton over the top as Walker chases again. Perigin's there. Williams has some wheels on him. Perigin gets there first. Walker defending. Perigin carrying through the middle. Stolen away by Denton. Denton leaves it for Walker. Walker pokes it in. Perigin tackles back. And Walker gets called for the foul. Free kick taken up ahead to Schumacher. Brandon's chasing. Lewis is there. Sends it back to Helton in the box. Ball played back into the middle of the board. Heavy Reather's there to possess. Plays it to break. Lewis and Schumacher fight for possession. Lewis is able to get to it. Hammond into the middle for Boren. Boren 1-2. Goes out the near side. And Cougars will get the throw in. Looks like Crum Ryan will take the throw for the Cougars. Thrown into break, stolen away by the Bulldogs. Ball goes out of bounds. Throw in for the Cougars on the far side. Williams over there to take the throw. Dole in possession. Makes a move to find some space. Dole sends it across the field to Reather. Reather tries to settle. Leaves it for Hamlin in the middle. Smathers is way offside. And it'll be a free kick for the Bulldogs. Lewis plays it on the ground to Denton. Good connection to Walker. Williams again using his speed to get to the ball first. And is able to win it for the Cougars as Brown can't control it on the far side. Williams throws it down the line, doesn't go in bounds, throw in for the Bulldogs. There's some discussion on the rules of a ball that doesn't go in bounds. There's some youth levels that if it doesn't go in bounds, you get to rethrow, but I don't think the high school level allows a rethrow. They did give us one earlier. Boney at the top of the box looking to punt it away. Top spinning ball bounces into the middle of the field. Ben Chad on the ball, break steals. Yearney sends it all the way in, goes out the end line for a goal kick for the Cougars. I think that's his last name, Trevor Yearney. Trevor Arntz, sorry. Trevor Arntz is his name. Ball back into place. Mathers back to Perigin. Perigin finds some space. Bourne defending. Perigin chips over the top for Schumacher to run under. Lewis again there first. Reether comes to challenge. Lewis makes a good move to find some space. Plays it into the middle for Cowger. Cowger one touch to Hammond. Kremrine comes to defend. Back across the middle. Williams, good job possessing, gets it to Perigin. Perigin again sends it to Reether on the run on the near side. Lewis, good hustle to get back. Gives it to Helton on the back. Switching the field over to Brown. Smathers hustles in. Loose ball goes to Williams, plays it on the ground to Dole. Dole's able to win it in turn. Plays it through to Schumacher. Schumacher lets it roll out as Chad steps in to steal. Perigin wins it down with his chest. Looking for space across the middle of the field. Drops it for Hamlin. Hamlin still on the ball to the top of the box. Lewis steps in to deflect. Into transition for the Bulldogs. Denton sends it through. Walker chasing. Boney does a good job coming out of the box and just sends it out of play. Throw in for the Bulldogs. Hammond takes the throw to Walker. Cowger on the ball. Walker one touch over to Hammond. Carrying across the top of the box. Into the middle of the field, Bourne comes on. William comes, gets it over to Smathers. Smathers one touch into the middle. Parker steps up to steal. Parker from 25. Off the crossbar, still alive. Hammond tries to follow. But sends it over the frame on the reach. And it'll be a goal kick for the Cougars. Under a minute to play here if we're doing a 30-minute half. Perigin sends the goal kick over to Dole on the far side. Dole in possession. Stolen away by the Bulldogs. Brown into the box. Boney, good job stepping up quickly to Perigin. Perigin sends it over the top for Schumacher to chase. Lewis again there first. Schumacher pressuring. Schumacher challenges Helton out of the box. Break heads it down. And Arntz smartly sends it away to end the game. The one goal in the game was Trevor Arntz on the header. Final score of the JV half. Bulldogs 1, Cougars nothing. We have a recap of the JV half we'll send you through as we close out.